are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello. Welcome everyone to Blame Your Brother, episode something, 217. Who knows what a week we're about to have on this one. It's been crazy, but we are here streaming show live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. on YouTube just for you guys. So if you go to blameyourbrother.tv, you can come hang out with us as we stream the show live. Jump into the chat with everyone. You're going to have a good time doing that, everyone. We have a good group of people. Thanks, everyone, for coming out and hanging with us as we've been just kind of figuring this live stream out. But the podcast is always great, and we are Blame Your Brother. I'm one half of that duo. I am David, a.k.a. D-Brew, voice of the people, Mr. 40%, Glenn Jackson, the spiritual midget. And I sit over here to this gentleman over to my left. It is John.
Hey everybody, John here, a.k.a. Mr. Groupon, Mr. PTI, the Madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman.
They do. There we do. So, and this show today is brought to you by Scoop Nashville. Jason gave us this board pretty much, and we want to thank him for that. If you are not following Scoop Nashville, what's wrong with you? Number one, it's the best breaking news source for Nashville news I know about. And sometimes more than Nashville, but you know, if you need Nashville news, you go there. He broke a lot of stuff about the Nashville bombing that other news agencies tried to say they broke, that seems to be party foul if you ask me. But go to Scoop Nashville, go follow him. They're doing places all over the United States, just not Nashville, but Scoop Nashville is the one we love because that's our home. So thank you to Jason. Like I said, this show is brought to you by Scoop Nashville. Blame Your Brother. So there we go. David, John, we're going to come at you. Much to discuss today. A whole bunch of topics. It is going to be, it's going to get interesting for sure. So before we do that, we will just talk about our weeks because so it's a new year. It's the first episode of 2021. John, how has your year been so far? Is it better than the last year?
I mean, it was fairly uneventful, so that's good.
That's good.
That's a good thing.
Okay. Well, let me tell you about my incident that just happened. I don't even know the day. I would imagine New Year's was on a Friday. So this had to have been like the Monday. Yeah, it was a Monday.
It would have been.
No, yes. Monday of this week is when I had what I shall call the dishwasher incident.
Uh-oh.
Now, before that, did you do anything special for New Year's, or were you just...
I had to work. The wife brought the kids up to the hotel for just a few minutes.
Okay.
We had some sparkling cider because we don't drink, but,
Yeah. Okay.
That's about it.
Well, there you go. So what we do the last year and this year is that we go to the Dancing Lights in Lebanon, which is if you don't know locally, there's these huge light show. It's awesome. It's a great light show, Christmas songs, dancing lights, and if you go during Christmas, sometimes there's wait times of 2 to 3 hours, which is crazy, but people do it because it's great spectacle. We went on New Year's Eve the last 2 years, and it's great. There's no line, but the drawback of that is you don't get to hear all the music of its entirety. So part of the appeal of standing in the 2 hour line and then driving through it slowly is you get to see more of it, but you got to wait. And if you go after, you get to see more of it, but it's more quickly. So each, they play I don't know, there's probably 30 songs they play or something, name it. I don't know why they play Proud to Be an American, but it is on the rotation.
We went early in the season.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
There wasn't a huge line, but there was enough traffic where you went slowly through it.
Okay, yeah.
We probably heard about maybe 10, 11, 12 songs.
Okay. Yeah, so we heard maybe 5. So I think next year we may try to go, a little bit later, but still, whatever. Okay, that was fun. We went to the house, watched all the little silly things, which was kind of ridiculous this year because they had Times Square that they showed, and there was no one out there, which was, and the celebrities they have on there. Okay, yeah, celebrities. John.
I mean, the term celebrity nowadays is so
I mean, I consider myself a pop culture expert. Okay, I know things that a 43-year-old man. I mean, probably
shouldn't know.
Probably shouldn't know. Doesn't know. I would be in the upper echelon of going, that's so and so. That's so and so. That's so and so. I was watching this literally going, I don't know who any of these people are. Like, obviously I know who Ryan Seacrest is, your birthday brother, your cosmic soulmate, as we say. But whatever, it's all right, man. I kind of like that goofy stuff. Like a lot of people, I like it. I like watching it. It just feels kind of comfortable and familiar. Anyways, Monday I wake up and my dishwasher in the kitchen. I moved into a new house, so everything is Samsung electronic, different than what I'm used to. Things are going off, they're beeping, songs are playing, all this wild stuff. And so my dishwasher's giving me an error. And I'm like, all right. Now, I'm not a technical man. I would not call myself. My father was a man who worked on many things. He was a maintenance man for years. Did he pass on much of that knowledge to me? No, he did not, John. You know that. I do not know anything about cars, nor much about fixing things. I mean, I guess I could. I just don't want to. I'm just being honest here.
Yeah.
We had a buddy, a mutual friend, I guess, Kurt, who was in a band that we shared a practice space with. I remember seeing him years ago, and he was like, if you just go on YouTube, you can figure all this stuff out. And he's right. You can. I just don't want to. I think that's, if you can figure out how to stream a podcast, you can figure out how to fix them. So I said in my mind, I'm going to fix this dishwasher. So I went on YouTube, and I was like, all right, the sensor in the back is got water on it. I just need to dry that out. All right, easy enough. So I get in there, unscrew it. One of the screws is stripped. I went, you got to be kidding me. But I got it. I got some pliers, got it out. So I'm watching this YouTube guy. He's like, man, you do this, man, baby, ding, 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 ding. I'm like, all right, if this guy can do it, I can do it. Pull the dishwasher out, unhook something. And then I unhook something else, John, and water starts spraying everywhere. I did not turn off the water underneath the sink. He did not say to do this. And there was water spraying everywhere. Now, my kids were home. They were off that Monday. It was a Monday. And I was like, get in here now, like screaming. I'm like, I need help. I need bowls. I need something. And the water's just spraying everywhere. I'm almost in tears because I'm frustrated. I'm like, I'm about to flood this new house. And the water's like hot, so I'm trying to screw it in, but the water's so hot, it's like almost burning me, I'm cutting up my hands. I got cuts all over I'm like O.J. Simpson here, look at my, and finally, it's just like in that moment of despair where I'm like, I'm done. I went, wait a minute. No, the water's got to be underneath the sink you can turn off. So in that moment, I went under there, turned the sink off, turned it off, water fixed the thing, man, took it apart, dried off the sensor, put that thing back in there. So the end was great, but man, the beginning was terrible. I mean, there was water.
Let's hope.
Yeah, right.
Let's hope that is something that we compared to 2021.
I know. I was like, wow, this is a great year. We're starting off great here. So that happened. That was unfortunate. My video just went out for some reason, but anyway, we'll fix that. But so that's kind of what started my 2020 situation here. But other than that, it's been pretty good. Well, it was. Like I say, it's been pretty wacky last couple of weeks here in America. COVID, all these crazy things are happening, and you're sitting here going, all right, things are going to get better, And what I like to do every week, like a Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll get on there and I'll start going, let me see what we're going to talk about this week. And so I had this story pulled up, John. Kim and Kanye are possibly getting divorced. And I'm like, all right, that's a good story. I love Kanye. I love Kim Kardashian. Anyone who listens to the program regularly knows I love these two people.
Yes.
Is it heartbreaking that maybe they're getting divorced? I mean, I would say not really. I would say this thing is probably went a little bit longer than people thought it would go. Right?
I'm surprised it lasted this long.
I mean, let's be honest. We all pretty much were. But that was the big story. I was looking into it. A lot of the stuff is she obviously is married to a man that's not mentally stable. I mean, I think we could probably say that,
Yeah.
I don't think we're out loud with saying the guys, a lot of the brilliant artists are a little bit mentally unstable. It's fine. Okay. It happens. I guess he got upset that she didn't endorse him for president, which leads me to a question. If your wife was running for president and you thought she was a little bit nuts, okay, would you publicly endorse her for president if you thought it would be bad for the country?
I gotta sleep with this woman.
So you would
vote for this woman.
So you would if she
I would
had
endorse her.
she was out saying like crazy, like she's out supporting Trump. You'd be like, all right, I'm down with that.
I mean, I would publicly, I would be
Publicly,
yes.
you would.
But at home, I'd be like, baby, you gotta stop saying these things.
Well, apparently Kanye did not like the fact that she was not endorsing him publicly. Okay. So anyways, that was like, I said, that's going to be a story we can talk about. And then I noticed, the Donald Trump calls the Georgia official and says, basically, I need 11,000 votes. Can you get me 11,000 votes where I can win this election? John, that's akin to me going to a bank going, I'm just a little bit short on the payment this month. Can I spare $12,000, bank? Can you find $12,000 put in my account? It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
It is.
All right. And then, well, chaos at the Capitol happened. And that's what we're going to spend, the next little bit here talking about. Now, I've got a series of images here. We're just going to pull these up and kind of look at it. And this is, it started around Wednesday around 2 p.m. Because I'd actually been looking at the news up till Wednesday 11 a.m. and laughing at this downfall of Trump. I went, this is perfect. This is how this moron goes down. This is how his legacy is ended. Like this, I love it. Like, it makes me happy that this is how this guy's legacy is going to end. And then I was not aware, I don't know if you were you aware that there was a rally being held on that day?
I did not.
Okay. And I don't think a lot of people were. But apparently he had sent tweets out saying, show up. And as we'll get into this, I mean, he is largely responsible for this. I mean, I don't know how people sit here and act like he's not. But so this stuff, as you're seeing on the screen here, basically a group of pro-Trump protesters show up to, I really don't know what their long game plan was. I guess their short-term plan was to make sure they were unable to certify the votes in the Electoral College process. So they show up there, they start knocking on the doors, breaking windows, and they overtake the Capitol. I mean, there's tons of images you're looking at here. Now, where this guy here is up on the seats of Nancy Pelosi's seat. This guy here is carrying a Confederate flag, which, dude, you lost that war. Like, you understand, like, that was 150 years ago, bro. Like, it ain't coming back. These guys with Trump, you lost. It's over, dude. Give it up. But they went in there, started storming. There's Jeff Daniels preparing for his next role, apparently. Is that who? No, who's Jeff Bridges? Who's the dude?
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, it's Jeff Bridges. Perfect. But
I mean, convenient. I mean, Jeff Daniels is part of Dumb and Dumber.
There you go. So. That makes more sense. Right. That would definitely be his next role. But you can see the chaos that erupted here. One woman was shot by the Capitol Police. She died. It's more alarming that more people were not shot. Nobody, except for one person I'm aware of, has died. This was pure chaos. These people were barricaded. Senators, congressmen, whoever were there, representatives were barricaded in their offices, barricaded. Capitol Police had guns drawn. This to me is an attack on democracy. I would agree. We talk about the bombing in Nashville. It came out that they're not going to classify that as terrorism because he did not have a vendetta against a particular group of people. All right, that makes sense. I mean, at the time, I know we look at it as Nashvillians and go, man, that bombing, that was like terrorism. But it's just one nut job with some crazy ideas possibly in his head. No one even knows. This, to me, is domestic terrorism. This is an assault on the capital of the United States of America based on falsehood that the votes were stolen, that this election was stolen. None of these, there have been little to no arrest. I don't know, man. It's insane to me. And Trump has continued to push this. When they told him to send in the National Guard, apparently he delayed that. If this was a Black Lives Matter thing, they wouldn't have stormed the Capitol, but let's say Black Lives Matter was going to be there, there would have been National Guard there. There would have been
Yeah.
hundreds of officers in riot gear.
I mean, if it had been anybody besides his people, let's be honest.
Right. I mean, we can say that, right? Like, it totally would have been a different scenario. But because it's his people, he doesn't really care. And so these people cause chaos. I mean, fear. Can you even imagine being there? I mean, really think about that, man. Can you imagine being in those halls where that's happened? I mean, this has never happened before in our life.
Yeah.
It's happened before in history. Kind of.
Has
it? Well,
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know the capital. Probably, but I'm saying as far as the Civil War, I say would be bad as this. I mean, 1776 Revolutionary War would be as bad as this. There was worse things happening than this in those two wars we mentioned. But since the Civil War, I can say for sure nothing from our own people. I mean, you can say Timothy McVeigh and all that, but nothing like this, the numbers of this. Timothy McVeigh was one dude with bombs driving into a building. This is a collective group of people. All right. So we got to look at where is the blame in this situation. I mean, yeah, it's easy to go it's Trump, and he gets the majority of the blame. But is anyone else to blame? Have we humored these people and allowed them to have a voice? So first off, should they have a voice?
I mean,
that's the question.
There should be regulated media.
So what do you mean regulated media? Like, what does that mean?
I'm trying to figure out how to. I mean, to be able to classify something as news, there should be you should be required to provide proof.
Okay.
Before you
I'm with
things
you.
as news.
But I think the problem with that is Fox News is not news. It is entertainment, is what it's classified as.
And the thing is that needs to be made
I think
more
so too.
available.
It's
that banner of entertainment.
They should not be allowed to be called Fox News.
Fox
right?
News to news is like WWE is to sports.
Right. I mean, so WWE is not worldwide sports, right? It's worldwide entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay. World Wrestling Entertainment. World Wrestling Entertainment. Fox News should, all of those stations, Fox, MSNBC, I mean, I don't know about CNN. I don't think they're that bad, but some people do. But regardless, yes, I'm with you, man. There's got to be certifieds. But when we allow these people to continue on, like Trump this week has been kicked off Twitter and Facebook, and I think he's done on Facebook, like for good. Twitter has just put a temporary ban on Trump. He will be gone off Twitter in like the next month, right? Yeah. There's no way that dude's staying on Twitter. There's 0% chance. Like he'll just leave and go to Parler or whatever, you know. Yeah. Or he'll probably start his own is what I've thought for a long time. But so Trump's to blame. I believe that, and here's the problem. When you yell something out enough to people going, hey, this guy is stealing the election, you say it so many times, it's like almost the boy who cried wolf. Like we almost just go, yeah, you know, whatever. As one politician said, why don't we just humor this guy? What's the worst that can happen? Bingo. Here's the worst thing can happen. You're seeing it.
Yeah.
He is sending out, and I've heard people, he's sending out dog whistles to his followers. Even when they said, yo, man, tell these people to go home. He's like, go home. We love you. You guys are great. Can you imagine? Let's say this is the room, as we've talked about. This is the room where your nephew peed on the carpet. We are in the P Studios, people. It's the P Studios, all right? Can you imagine, like, yo, go up there and discipline that child. And you're just like, son, just leave, and I love you. It's cool, man. Like that does not encourage, there's some aspect of discipline. I'm not saying to be mean to people, but it is to put them in their place. Like Trump just said, this is wrong. What you're doing is wrong. You cannot.
That's the problem is a lot of these people believe they're doing the right thing.
Well, here's the problem with that. Reporters went up and talked to some of these people and like, hey, you know, like Trump has said, like you need to go home. And they're just like, we don't care. So see, here's the problem, and I call it the Avengers problem. You're going to laugh at this, but in Avengers the movie, everyone's seen it. We'll put it in pop culture terms where you can all understand it. Loki goes and gets help from these aliens, right? And so the idea is they're going to help him take over the world. And then about some point Loki realizes, oh no, I can't control these dudes anymore. So now I'm in trouble. I'd say that's the same way with Trump's followers now. This guy has unleashed these pack of dogs, and I don't care. I'm not going to apologize. If you like Trump and you listen to this program and you don't like it, you can get lost at this point. I'm done with it. You can get lost, dude. I'm sick of these far right people and your bullshit conspiracies. It's dangerous at this point.
I mean, between QAnon and InfoWars and
yes, it's dangerous.
yeah.
So if you don't like it, but you're a pack of rabid dogs and you cannot control rabid dogs, I don't know what we're going to do with these people because they're not going away just because Biden's in office. They're not going to disappear. It's not like the Avengers movie where they all go back into a portal. No, these dudes are going to be here, and now they're going to be even more pissed. See, Fox News, they love that Trump didn't get elected, dude. I'm telling you, they love it because every time there's a Democrat in office, their numbers go up. And every time there's a Republican in office, CNN numbers go up because they can get on there and they can bitch and moan about it for like,
Yeah, good news doesn't sell.
right.
So if your dog is in the house, then you can't really complain.
Right. So that's where we're at. I feel also these police officers that were there joke taking selfies with these dudes. Like, what world are we living in, man? These taking selfies with these guys. Like, what? Do you see any of this stuff in Black Lives Matter, man? Do you see them taking like selfies with the? It's insane, man. It's asinine. So we're at the point where this dude's just gonna. It's like he's put in his 2 weeks notice. You really gonna fire that guy? I mean, you could. Like, let's say you work somewhere and you can't fire him. What can you do? Like, you can go to HR and file a complaint on him. Nothing's gonna happen. There's no way they're getting this guy out of office in the next 2 weeks. Invoke the 25th Amendment. Good luck with that. You guys can't even get together to pass like a good COVID relief bill. You think you're going to get together?
I mean, they can't do. At this point, the Electoral College should be cut and dry.
Yeah.
Easy peasy, lemon squeeze. It's not hard. It's not brain surgery.
Yeah.
It's not. You don't even have to think about it.
It's pretty simple. Oh, look at John.
Whoa.
John getting called.
Up.
Trump. That's Trump calling. Oh, man, he should have put him through, man. You're right. It's a very simple process. I don't even think. Do you think Trump honestly believes that he lost the election? I believe.
You don't go to the bank and ask for an extra $11,000,
right?
If you think it's already there.
That's true. That's true. And then I would say this also: if he really thought he lost, like if he really thought he won, right? Like he was 100% like, "Yo, I won this thing," right? Would you tell all your people just to back off? If you really were like, yo, democracy is being destroyed before our very eyes. Okay, guys, democracy is under attack from the socialist evil, George Soros, Democrats. They're not even Democrats. They're evil people. Would you tell those people to back off? If you really believe it, no, man, you got to overtake that Capitol right now. Like democracy is at stake.
If I already set the dogs out,
yes,
I would have never called them off.
And you believed it, right?
Yeah.
If you believed it was actually stolen, you'd be like, nah, man, screw this. Get it, take it. The guy is just, I mean, he should be removed. I don't think he will be removed. I was at the point just ignore this guy, and I forgot that, yeah, I'm willing to ignore him. I haven't watched the news until this happened. My wife actually texted me, and she goes, can you believe this? And I go, believe what? I've like been pretty much off social media. And I went, what? She goes, turn on the TV. And I went, oh my God. She goes, they're finding bombs on these guys. We're not even talking about that. These dudes had explosives on them. Okay? Explosives. What were they going to do with those? What do you do with an explosive? You blow stuff up.
Yeah.
I'm just sick of these far right people. I saw John put something out on Facebook. It was pretty funny. It was like, at least you don't have to hear from your far right wing friends or whatever. And like a lot of your far right wing friends were like, no, man, no, I don't know, man. So my buddy Jeff called, and he's a right winger, and he was actually there in Washington. Now he was not part of this ruckus. Mm-hmm. He said once they were like, yo, we're going inside, he literally went, no, I'm out of here. Like, which any smart, reasonable people do. I don't have a problem, and I'll say this, I don't have a problem with the protests themselves. While I think it's ridiculous that you think the election was stolen, you have no proof whatsoever. If you want to show up there, have your banners, be loud, it's your right. You know, it's free speech. As long as you're not hurting anybody, You can do it. You can be as ridiculous as you want to be. You can, if you want to look like this one guy here, I call him the Bull Man or the Viking Man. If you want to look like this guy, man, that's your right? You can do it as long as you're not hurting anyone. When you storm the Capitol and decide people have got to pay with their blood and all this nonsense, that's when it goes over the line. And, a lot of people said the same thing about the Black Lives Matter protest, burning down stores, all that stuff. Are there some things that are some similarities of taking things too far? I mean, yeah, the only thing I would say the difference between the two is that Black Lives Matter actually have statistics that kind of prove what their message is. These guys have nothing. They have nothing that shows the election was stolen. Nothing. It's just nonsense. So I don't know, man. I'm just hoping. It's just scary because this could happen again, like worse though.
Yeah.
And then what do we do? What do we do then? Because if Biden's in office, they start doing it. I mean, now you have an actual terrorist group. Like, you label them terrorist group, and then we're in trouble. Because like we've said, half the people think this way, half the people think that way, and you're not going to change anyone's mind.
I mean, effectively, Trump may have destroyed the Republican Party.
I mean, or maybe he's. What I'm hoping is like, because Marsha Blackburn, the representative in Tennessee, was initially like, "Yo, I'm gonna go against the results," and after this happened, she was like, "Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and vote to certify them." I'm hoping it kicks some sense into people. You got to stop saying, "Yo, man, I'm for this guy, but I'm not."
But the thing is like, okay, say he's right.
Yeah.
Which he's not. But say he was right. The fact that this could be done, just that alone, is detrimental to our country.
Oh, 100%.
Just the fact that it can be done.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, if I was president and I think that I was screwed out of the votes, I'd still bow out. I'd be like, you know what? Okay, you won.
You have to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to at some point. I mean, just
because if you are a good president, first and foremost, you want to do what's best for the country.
Right.
And whether you won or lost, Trump saying that this did not work on this level is bad for the country. Now, if you want to bow out and you still have power, you've got money, you've got a voice, be smart about it and say, hey, this system needs to change.
That's what a smart person would do. But Trump is not smart. That's what I don't want to stress this to people. The man is not smart. He's not. We got to stop saying this dude is smart. He's a dummy. He's in over his head, man.
If you have enough money from the starting gate, and you don't end up poor, that doesn't mean you're smart.
Right. No. And I think it's come out, he really doesn't have any money on top of that. So I don't know, man. It's scary watching it. It's no different than
right now and today in history, I feel shame for being an American.
Okay.
For being white.
Okay.
For being a conservative.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's just and all in one foul swoop.
And we say that, John, but there's people out there that are doubling down on this stuff now. Like, so much, like, it's scary. Like, they're doubling down. Now they're hunkering down in their forts, and now they're ready because they're going to go, well, the Black Lives Matter, they protested, we're protesting, blah, 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 blah. And I just say, and it's kind of ironic that this protest by these pro-Trump idiots proves the Black Lives Matter statement better than a Black Lives Matter protest, is that you're able to go, is there racial discrepancy in America? Oh, yeah, I think so. Because if these dudes have been black, we talking about this in a different manner.
Any shade darker.
Yes. I mean, Hispanic, anyone would have stormed this Capitol, dead. You would have had 20, 30 at least dead. It would have been a massacre.
Yeah.
I'm just curious how the history books are going to look back at this one day. I mean, this dude, this Viking man, it's going to be in a history book somewhere. I think about that. That's why people in this social media age, they love it. They're like, man, they're on the news. This guy, whoever this dude is, Viking man, as they're calling him, he loves this. He's getting on Twitter today going, there I am, man. There I am standing. He was standing in the speaker position with the gavel or whatever. You know, like, oh, I'm over the country.
That's so unbelievable that he made it to that point.
Oh, I know. It's because the police officers were letting him in, John. They let him in.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous.
Come on in, guys. Have a seat. Take a seat. Take some memorabilia out of the freaking Capitol building. Oh, man. I don't know. The words I would say is we're just screwed moving forward. And if you have any solutions, I would love to hear it. But if you think this is the way to conduct business, then, you know, they always say you need to leave the country because you are a problem. So, oh, man. Well, I don't know. You got any final thoughts on that? I mean,
no.
So I'm just looking at the chats here. You know, everybody's kind of just saying the world is messed up. Yes, Jeffrey, you are correct. The world is messed up. And Jeff was somebody in the chat said who worked with me and Jeff. Yeah, he was kind of there. I mean, he wasn't there inside the building, thank God, because if he had been inside the building, I don't know if we really could have like hung out anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. All right, well, that's that. We did our review of Wonder Woman last week, and I think now reading a lot of reviews, most people agreed with us wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I saw there's a comedy sketch channel that I watch called Pitch Meeting.
Okay.
And he did a pitch meeting episode for Wonder Woman 84, and he said a lot of the same stuff we did.
Yeah. I mean, here's what it comes down to. Everyone I've read said Gal Gadot, great. Mandalorian, whatever his name is, great. I mean, it seemed like he was in a different movie, but he was great. Yeah. And the rest of it was trash. It was bad. And I listened to an interview with Patty Jenkins on WTF with Mark Maron. She wrote it. She directed it. You got to own it. This is not good. And there's no way you're looking out there saying this is good. Like the story, I don't understand, John. I've read comic books for years, dude. You got some of the best writers out there. You got Grant Morrison. You've got, I mean, just name them. There's great writers. Okay? Hell, get Frank Miller. Get someone to write a better story and put it on the screen. I just don't understand it.
Yep.
But all that being said, we talked after the show last week, after the debacle that was Wonder Woman, and we said we need to cleanse our palate with the Mount Rushmore of top sequels.
We figured, 2020 was over. Let's hope that the sequel would be better. So far, it's not looking so good.
I know. So it said, I saw it said 6 days in, I'm ready for 2022.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's about right. All right. So, John, what is your criteria for a sequel? Because I saw different, I looked at a couple lists, and there's some different criteria.
There's different criteria.
What is yours? Is it?
It has to, not only it be set in the same universe as the original.
Okay.
But it has to either carry on the story or feature the same players in a new story.
Can it? But it can be 2 or 3.
It's a sequel. I anything that
okay.
It could be a 6th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of like 2 being the sequel, but yes, I guess
most of mine
it does work. Yes.
There's only one of mine that's a 3rd.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't have any, but now that I said that, I might switch one out. Okay. So I believe.
Well, there's another one on there that's it's up there. It's not a 2nd.
Okay.
But
so here's what we're gonna do. I believe. Let me explain the rules of our Mount Rushmore real quick. What we do is draft style, which means that once someone picks something, it's off the board.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sick of these people. Oh, here's my list. It's not that simple. People can't just pick 4 on the list. Okay, I understand. Yes, you have to do that on social media because whatever. But I'm just saying, it's a little bit difficult. So I believe I went first last week. So you get to go first this week. And we're going to go 1 through 4. John goes, I go. John goes, I go, back and forth. And these are the best sequels of all time. All right, so John, you're up. I would imagine I know what you're going to do, but you're always full of surprises. So who's to say? I mean,
I'm Italian.
Okay, well there we go.
You pretty much know where I'm going with this one. Got to go with Godfather Part 2.
Godfather 2. So, do you think Godfather 2 is better than Godfather 1?
Yeah, I do.
Hot take.
I think Godfather 1 is if you're doing a list of sequels,
Yes.
it's going to be hard pressed not to do a comic book movie. Because you look at movies that are sequels, it's either sci-fi
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, or horror.
Yeah.
Most movies don't really have sequels.
Yeah, for sure. But
So
yeah, it's true. It's true. A lot of comic book movies, a lot of horror movies. Dark Knight follows up Batman Begins, which I think perfect trilogy. Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, perfect trilogy. I mean, when I think of perfect trilogies, there's not a whole lot that exists out there. I'm not gonna name a lot because there might be more on the list, but fantastic. I mean, Heath Ledger, career-defining
oh
role,
my gosh,
drove him to his death. I mean, let's call it what it is. Great story, great action scenes. It's I don't know, man. I don't want to tell you. It's fantastic. So, Dark Knight is my choice there.
all right. Number 2 on my list. Got to kind of mix sci-fi and horror here a little bit. We go with Aliens.
Aliens. All right. So I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to keep coming back to this.
I think Aliens is a better movie.
An Alien.
Yeah.
Interesting. See,
I think Aliens brings more to the table. Alien it's almost strictly, sci-fi suspense with the monster.
Yeah, for sure. It's a horror. I mean, it's almost a horror movie.
Yeah. Aliens brings in a lot more character for the people. There's more characters, and those said characters have more, ambiance that they bring to the table.
Right. Yeah.
And then Ripley just raises her game big time.
But here's my question: Is it a better? Here's the thing: Is it a better movie or is it a more watchable movie? Because I think there's a difference between the two.
That's a good question.
So here's my point.
I mean, for me, almost everything comes down to characters.
Right.
And so, like I said, there's more characters with their individual personalities.
Right.
And they pretty much stay true to their personalities throughout the movie. And so,
I'm trying to think of an example because I was thinking about a movie earlier.
I've got the same thing about a storyteller versus a writer.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Would you rather watch if this show is on TV? Let's pick a critically acclaimed movie. Schindler's List is on TV, and Con Air is on another channel. Which one are you watching?
I'm probably watching Con Air.
Which one's a better movie?
Oh, Schindler's List.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Which is better? You still think Aliens is better than Alien?
Yeah.
Okay. It's close. It's close. Okay. I'm gonna also go with kind of a sci-fi movie, which I definitely believe the second one's better than the first one. It's an iconic movie. T2, Terminator 2.
Okay.
Yeah, Terminator 2.
But you're gonna go with something else.
Is a dope movie. It put Arnold was already great. This put him in the elite category. I mean, I'll be back. I mean, who's never said that? Like, if you meet someone they've never said, "I'll be back," they're dumb. They're stupid. They cannot be trusted. I let my son watch this for the first time the other day. It is a movie with some problems in it. I mean, there's a few. Any time travel movie, which you might listen a little bit later. Any time travel movie is going to have problems with it, but I think it's just a fantastic story, start to finish. It moves fast. It's great action. Arnold becomes the ultimate guy you're rooting for, who's not even human. He's an alien, but he's the most human person in the movie at the end. And it's a little bit. It's not, and now I'm older, I'm not, but it's a little bit tearful at the end of the movie, whatever happens. So I'm going to definitely T2 is my number 2. So, all right, what you got next? Trying to see what you take provide. Oh, I know what you're going to take now. Oh, yeah, okay.
The Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, that's a good. Is that the best Star Wars movie? Because wouldn't everything in canon be a sequel? Because technically, John.
Not technically.
Well, technically,
because
not technically your movie is a sequel.
It is a sequel.
What is not a sequel then in the Star Wars canon? Are you saying Phantom Menace is the original and everything's a sequel?
I mean, technically, those are prequels.
Yes, but once they're introduced, they become ground zero.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. It's kind of here. I always look at, obviously, New Hope, Empire.
I mean, a lot of things in the age of remakes where, like Rogue One, that's probably, I think, the best Star Wars movie.
I'm not going to disagree. It's pretty darn good. It's pretty good. I still think Empire is the best.
Is it a sequel, though? See,
it's got Darth Vader in it.
I mean, it's got Leia in it too, but
okay, so it's got someone's. I don't know. That's kind of a weird situation. Why do you like Empire so much, John? Besides,
I mean,
the millions of nerds that are.
I mean, they kind of cemented it. The pitchforks outside, if I said otherwise. But I mean, as far as movie twists go, it's probably the most famous.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for us, yes. I mean, you okay? So you can talk about movie twists that are huge. I mean,
between that and Sixth Sense.
Usual Suspects is another one.
Yeah,
those are like three of the biggest ones of all time. Soylent Green is people, but that was way before our time. But yes, I would say those are the top three biggest twists of our life.
Wait, Soylent Green? They were people? What?
Yeah, you have to watch it. It's a wild movie. All right, Empire. That's good. I don't know. I like Terminator 2 a little bit better as a sequel. I love Empire. I don't want the nerd. I love Empire. But I will say this. The beginning of Jedi is like one of the best beginnings of the movie.
Yeah.
So
it's up there, yeah.
It just falls apart once the little Ewoks are introduced, unfortunately.
Well, another thing before you go, when people start bashing us, they got to remember that we're competing.
Right. Yeah, because obviously...
Don't knock Dave for putting because I got D2 on my list, too.
Yeah, obviously. I would have put Empire at number 3. Okay. Man, this is where it starts getting tough. All right. I'm going to go with a... Man, this is tough. Okay.
How would you get to your last choice?
Let's go with... Yeah, I'm going to go with a Pixar movie where the first one, fantastic, but I think the second one, at one point, was 100% of Rotten Tomatoes. It's a fantastic story.
Yeah.
Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it really... And sometimes the reason the sequels work a little bit better is because you're introduced to the character, and it takes away from that.
You have to set up the universe.
Yes.
And that takes away from you really getting sucked in.
So this is your chance to go, okay, we've got the origin crap out of the way. Let's dive in and have fun with the characters. So there we go. All right, that's my number 2, Toy Story 2. John, you got down to your last one.
This is my last one. There's a lot of choices.
I thought there would be one on here for sure, and it's not on here. If it's not, I'm taking it. So I'm just going to let you know.
I want to make my list a little bit more all-inclusive.
Okay.
And, I mean, this is one of the greatest movies out there, especially if you're into, it's the best Western ever. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Oh, that's good, man. Damn. That was in contention for my last
and
one.
That is a part 3.
That's good.
So you got a fistful of dollars, a few dollars more.
Good.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue with that one. God dang, that basically The Mandalorian owes just about everything to its
And we'll shout out to tie-ins there too.
Yes, Sergi G, whatever. They said videos kind of choppy, so I'm going to try to switch videos real quick. But anyways, yes, fantastic movie. Let my kid watch part of it the other day, and a couple months ago, and they seem to like it, man. They seem to like it quite a bit. So there you go. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Down to my last choice. Man, there's so many. I'm gonna.
You sounded kind of sure a second ago.
No, I'm not sure, man. Because I got some great ones in my head. I got ones I didn't write on here because I'm thinking of. I mean, I could go another superhero movie. If I was a big Star Trek fan, I would totally put Star Trek on the list. But I'm not really a Star Trek fan. I know Wrath
of Khan is on my list.
I know Wrath of Khan is one of the greatest sequels of all time. I understand that,
especially compared to the travesty that was the first one.
Yes, I mean Wrath of Khan's like seriously good movie.
If you compare, I would say that if you compare the greatness of the first movie to the second movie, the first movie on our list would probably be Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, but I'm not doing that because I'm not a Star Trek nerd. Okay, I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna get trash for this. As much, and I brought up something earlier. See, I kind of introduced something earlier where I could kind of come back to this point. I'm going. I can't believe I'm saying this because I mean I love Marty McFly, but I think Back to the Future is solid, and I don't think 2. While 2 is fun to watch, it's nowhere as good as 1. I love 3. I love 3. I could watch 3 all day. It's so ridiculous. It's good, but I should put Back to the Future 2 on my list. I should. I really should. And you know what? I've talked myself into. I'm just Back to the Future 2. Yeah, I got to put it on the list. I got to. It is.
I mean, I love the movie, but I mean.
Oh, come on, John. It's good, man.
It is.
It introduces Donald Trump, a.k.a. Biff, in the future, man.
I know.
Come on.
That's why you should hate it, first of all.
Well, it's great they beat him, though, at the end. That's why it's fantastic.
But, like, I mean, I don't know. I think it should be a movie that's better than the predecessor.
Oh, John, would that only be Godfather 2 and The Dark Knight?
There's
maybe
other
Aliens.
Movies.
Well,
I
guess your list. I guess your list could go good, bad, ugly. You've seen the original. What is the original?
The original is Fistful of Dollars.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Tell me what it's about.
Oh my God! I mean, it's the
you
same
saw
character.
It
It's
once
Joe.
30 years ago.
I mean, it was a long time ago.
Right,
yeah, but still.
Okay.
But I mean, everyone will admit that that's a better movie.
Okay, I think here's the thing. Here's the only reason Back to the Future 2 is not as good as Back to the Future. Back to the Future is a perfect damn movie. It's perfect. You couldn't make a better movie. Like,
it's a perfect movie.
Oh yes.
Okay, why is Doc and Marty friends?
I mean, it's a good. I would say they're both misfits in society.
Oh yeah, because that just happened.
I mean, yeah, Godfather's a tough one, man, because your movies are tough.
I mean, I've got some honorable mentions on.
Well,
here.
I do too. Okay, so let me go over the list, then we'll go over our mentions. Okay, John's got a really good list. I'll just be honest. Godfather 2, Aliens, Empire Strikes Back, Good, the Bad, the Ugly. I had Dark Knight, T2, Toy Story 2, Back to the Future 2. I'm gonna tell you what. Before you give your also lane, because I know what you're gonna list. I just about put Dark Knight Rises on there, because I think Dark Knight Rises is more watchable than Dark Knight. I will watch Dark Knight Rises every time the damn movie comes on. I love it. It's like a comic book movie on the big screen. The damn opening with Bane. Tell me a movie that tops that opening scene where they're flying into that jet.
I mean, Dark Knight opening scene's pretty dang good too.
In the garage, it's all right. Dude, Bane is on a jet. That's like real stuff happening. Like,
I mean, I'm not knocking it, and I agree with you.
Now's not the time for fear. That comes later.
I mean,
come on, dude.
Especially, I mean, there's a certain scene in The Dark Knight that I can't watch anymore.
Which one?
When Two-Face has Gordon's son.
Oh, John.
I'm sorry, man.
See,
I
love
weak.
Dark Knight. Dark Knight, I think, is a perfect movie. I do believe it's a perfect movie, but it's a little heavy to rewatch over and over again. Dark Knight Rises, dude, you're getting all the cliches. It's like Rocky.
Yeah.
It's like Rocky.
I agree.
Batman, gets his butt kicked, comes back, saves the day. It's dope. The villains are the best. Bane's the best villain of all. Look, I love Joker. He's the best character. But come on, man. Who are you? John, you got to fight Bane as Joker. Who are you going to fight?
I mean, I'd rather fight Joker.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, okay, so what's on your also rans?
I mean, all the ones that you had, I had on my list except for Back to the Future 2.
Okay.
I had Star Trek 2, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Goldfinger.
Okay. Yeah, Bond's tough, but yeah.
Ones that Army of Darkness.
Oh yeah, damn! I didn't think of that. That would have been my fourth one. If I'd have thought of that one, that would have been on my list.
Some questionable ones.
Okay.
Pulp Fiction actually takes place.
Oh no!
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you when you say no.
No.
If I didn't, it would have been on my list.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, bro. Come on.
Same thing with Logan. I think Logan is not necessarily a direct sequel. It's kind of more of a what if.
Like an Elseworld, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, no. Yes. I just anything in Avengers, I'm hesitant to put on there because it's just too.
Except for Ultron.
It's too recent. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I had Paddington 2 is a great sequel. Probably better than the original.
I've heard that's one of those perfect movies.
Superman 2. It's good.
Which version?
Oh, the original 79
Okay,
version.
the Donner cut.
Yes. And then Star Trek, Toy Story 2. So I mean, there's a lot of great sequels, but sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're really not. Just depends on what you're getting out of it. So,
but I really wanted to put Army of Darkness on my list, but there's just so many good ones.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed I didn't think of Army of Darkness. It's corny though. I mean, it's not like
that's why it's so good.
Not like a perfect movie or something, but it is pretty. It is pretty good. So that was our sequel list. Let us know what you think on all the socials and all that stuff. I'm going to try to stop this video real quick, and I mean they can still hear us. So maybe they'll. You know what? They may enjoy this more than. May go,
I know I would.
You know what? Maybe this is a little bit better. I'm fearful this went. I know what happened. I know why the video is sloggy now. Wow, that's weird. It went to. Do you know like time lapse? It was on time lapse.
Well, I guess that explains why we're lagging.
Our ratings are going to go like, oh, the ratings are way up now. Oh no, they're back on. The ratings go back down again. Oh man. Okay, that was a good list. That was fun. We look forward to doing these lists for sure. I want to go ahead and give a big rest in peace. Don Wells, who Marianne on Gilligan's Island passed away this week of COVID-19 complications. Another one bites the dust, sucks. I met Don Wells at a convention here in town once, and I've got to say she was one of the sweetest, nicest people I've ever met at one of these things, man. She was she took the time. I think she talked to us for the podcast, I think. And I think we took a picture of her. We definitely did, because I have a picture of me, her, and Corey. And she just talked to us. She was sweet. You could tell she had a good soul. So much like I followed her on Facebook after that. And she always had these great positive messages she put out. And just what an all-time icon for that show. I mean, that is one of the debated questions of all time. Marianne, Ginger, which one are you, But it just sucks that, COVID-19 took another, icon from us. I know celebrity, but it's taken out a lot of other people as well. But it's just kind of I don't know, man. It's just kind of a bummer. So, I don't know. Did you watch? Were you like Gilligan's Island fan?
Oh, man, I love Marianne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than Ginger.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I think Marianne spoke to nerds like us. I think she spoke to our sensibility, because that's like the girl we would dream of being, like, of being with, like Ginger Ann. I mean, let's be honest. I put it like this. If you, I don't want to be crass. Like, if you were going to hang out with one or hook up with one and you're at a bar one night, you're probably going to try to hook up with Ginger. Let's just call it what it is, okay?
If that's all you're wanting to do.
Yes, if that's all you want to do. But if you're looking for a soulmate, a friend, someone that's fun to hang out with.
A girlfriend.
She was the girl next door. She's like as far as I know, I don't remember any girls on a national level being of that girl next door type, So.
Not of that caliber.
So
if you're going to go through the ages, and she's the poster child for that.
Yeah. So rest in peace to her. It sucks. What are you going to say, man? Gilligan's Island in itself, we could do just top sitcoms of all time. Or what is that called? Is that considered sitcom? What is that considered? Okay,
sitcom.
Yeah. That's one of the greats, man. That's one of the greats. Whenever you get into a group situation, a lot of time you go, who would everybody be on the island? John, who do you think?
I'm
you're a Gilligan all day, brother.
Bro.
Yeah, you're Gilligan through and through. Oh my God. Yeah, so that sucks. She passed away, and then someone else passed away, but it was not on that level.
No.
I know Chuck Yeager passed away. Should I know? I know who this guy is, but people were really sad this dude passed away. What should I know this guy better than I know him?
Probably.
I don't really.
Do you know what he's famous for?
He was a pilot. He broke some speed.
He broke the sound barrier.
Okay, yeah.
So if it wasn't for Chuck Yeager, there would be no Concorde jet.
Okay. Somebody probably would have come along behind him and done it. I don't like when people say, if there wouldn't have been this, there wouldn't have been this. Come on. Someone
the timeline would have been
maybe
because nobody else was willing to.
Well, it could be.
It had to be tested.
Well,
and nobody else was willing to get in there and do it.
So he's rewarded. I mean, I don't want to talk ill of the dead. I mean, I've talked about this man when he was alive, but he was rewarded for his lack of, I don't want to say stupidity, but his lack of fear. I mean, the average person is not going to be like, yo, man, let me get in this jet and do something. Like, I guess that's any person that breaks a barrier has to have a little bit of
daredevil qualities.
I mean, stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to call it what it is, dude. I mean, you know.
Or faith in the product.
I mean, brother.
I mean, it's a lot.
Faith
It's a
in
lot,
something, bro. I mean,
but I mean, look at the first people that ever went in a space shuttle.
Yes. Would you do that ever?
No.
I would never trust any product. Like, I don't even care if I built it. I'd be like, nah, man, y'all got to one up in that because that's not going to be this guy right here. It is astounding that people continue to do things like that. But oh well. Well, there we go. So yeah, rest in peace, Dawn Wells. She will be missed. And I don't know, anything else happened in the news this week? I mean, we had the Trump situation. We had Capitol Hill. We had Kim and Kanye. It's, you know, minus the Trump stuff, we're going to keep moving forward, and we're going to hope this new year is a little bit better. We'll see. Now, I have, just before we wrap up, I'm back into video games, John, like in a way that when people are like, yo, why aren't you on social media anymore? It's because, like, yo, I'm not even on my phone anymore, hardly, because I'm playing a little Red Dead Redemption 2. You ever heard of this game?
I've heard of this game.
Oh, my God. Don't get it. It's like crack, man. I just want to play this. Like, I'm going to bed like at 12:31 in the morning playing this game so much, dude. I'm like.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to play video games more than 20 minutes as it is.
Yeah,
so.
I hear you. Well, see, I'm at my kids now. They're watching me play the games. I'm like, y'all like watching this? Like, yeah, but we play Fortnite, back into Fortnite, and then I've got them into NBA Jam, and they love it. That's all they want to play is NBA Jam. And I tell them story. You know, I'm like, yo, man, these were the teams. I haven't told them about the Indiana Cheaters yet, but but they're getting good at it. Like, I spanked them a couple of times, and now I think they could beat me. So I'm kind of like, I don't feel like playing. I'm gonna go play something else. But man, what a game! NBA Jam. We could talk about that for forever. But I don't know. You know, I always thought it was weird that Jordan was not in the game. Because they're like, yo, where's Jordan at? And it's like, I don't even know how to explain that to him. Like, how do I explain it to him? Like, what do I say? You know, I don't know.
There's a YouTube video about it.
I mean, that's
specifically.
That's kind of weird,
Just
right?
make them watch that.
I guess, but isn't it weird, really? You think about it, this is an icon, dude. Not in the series.
The biggest player.
The best.
Of the game.
Yes.
When it came out.
Yeah.
And he's not on there.
But so that's fun, watching him play NBA Jam, because they're asking me all these questions.
You could be Pippen and Hugh Grant. What?
Horace Grant. Hugh Grant. That would be. I would play.
Oh my gosh.
One last thing before we go.
That
And we're going to start with that. There is a Netflix documentary called Death to 2020, and it is like a mockumentary about the year 2020. It is, I don't know why, man. I don't know if I'm just in the frame. I thought this was one of the funniest things I'd ever seen in my life. It's got Samuel Jackson. It's got Lisa Kudrow. It's got Hugh Grant. He plays like this old professor. When that dude was on talking, because they're playing characters and stuff, I was cracking up, dude. I thought this was he literally was like stealing bits we had done before, because he was talking about like, yes, he's a British old guy. He's like, yes, when they did that to remind me of the time the White Walkers stormed the gates. I don't know anything about Game of Thrones. And the guy off camera goes, you talking about Game of Thrones? Oh, no. That's real. I'm a historian. That really happened. And it's like I can't even get like, so anyways, if you're looking for something to kind of recap the year, get on Netflix, Death of 2020, I think is what it's called. You'll find it. I thought it was very funny. It's got all these funny characters, like this soccer mom that's really like a white nationalist and all this. It's really funny. And it does a pretty good job of recapping the year. So if you want to do that, but we've recapped enough, man. Hope you enjoyed our best sequels, our talk about the chaos at the Capitol. And we're going to go ahead and start wrapping things up. If you have liked this show and you want to catch more episodes, what you have to do is go to Blame Your Brother. That is our website. And you can find it at bybpod.com. That's bybpod.com. You can get on there, check it out, man. It's got all kinds of things on there. We've got articles. We've got all the past episodes. We have ways to reach us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the ways on there. We got merchandise. We've even got a way to contact us via email. So if you want to do that, that's possible to do as well. And, you know, we like it when people email us. There's an email box right there on the right. So you just go in there. You can put in any name you want. If you're from New Jersey and you want to write some fake email, it's John Jones. You know, whatever, you can do that.
Yeah.
That's your option. You can do whatever you want. We've got T-shirts for sale. And if you want to buy stuff on Amazon, click on that Amazon link. Help us out. Click there, buy a bunch of stuff. And people have been doing it. We made decent money last month. So thank you guys so much for doing that. I guess with all that being said, John, is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.